I'm talking to somebody who has been putting off their aesthetic presentation. And this could be a rather triggering message, but the sense that I get is you're stuck in a pattern or a loop of negative energy that is tying you to an old way of presenting yourself physically. This relates to wardrobe, body appearance, aesthetic, beauty, luxury. And it's tied to your manifestation. For somebody who has maybe always felt that one day in your life you're going to wear different clothes and jewelry, it specifically feels aesthetic. This could be also about embodiment and sensuality. But the central theme I'm getting is about how your self-presentation has to begin now instead of waiting for it to occur when you feel like you've reached some perceived level of success. There's many reasons why this is important, but I'm seeing a tumbleweed that keeps growing and picking up momentum, getting bigger and growing speed, as opposed to what feels like a stick stuck inside of a wheel, which is where you are right now. It feels like you're stuck in a looping pattern of, I don't have enough money to buy the clothes or accessories that I want, or I'm not being seen at the moment, so there's no point in making myself look good. But the wardrobe that I currently have and the way that I'm adorning myself is making me feel gross. And then this is a self-perpetuating cycle where because you feel gross, then you don't seek out, or the opportunities don't seek you out to appear in a way that you would like. And if you were to meet somebody, and perhaps you've had small experiences here and there of feeling insecure about your appearance because you're thinking, this isn't how I would usually present, but I'm just in a phase of my life and I don't know how to explain it. So what I'm being shown is that this reading is so similar to a previous reading where I talk about committing to the task and the practical lifestyle, where if you start doing the thing that you want to be doing, that attracts the money to keep doing the thing. And you think it's the other way around, right? You think you need to earn the money first to give yourself the platform and the stability to start doing the thing you want to do in peace. For example, if you want to write, you're waiting for a time where you have all this money to sit at home and write. But the truth is, the block is in avoiding the writing, which you have at least 20 minutes a day to do, you know? So this is the same in terms of aesthetics. If you prioritize some small amount of your income, for example, me today, I was going to go to a new moon ceremony breathwork workshop, but it was far out of the city. It was smack bang in the middle of the day, which I had committed to being a work day for myself, although I work at home. So I do have a flexible schedule, but I felt myself dreading the impending travel and finding that I wouldn't be able to make time for the work that I actually have to do. So I cancelled my attendance and now I'm working at home. And then I realized that the money that I would have paid for this workshop is the exact same number that it costs to buy a ring that I have been looking at. But it does require a subtle adjustment to my priorities and my self-beliefs, because, well, who are you if you're a person that instead of going to a self-improvement workshop buys yourself a ring? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing that you need to interrogate with yourself to see, well, hang on, here's $20 here and there that I am spending on fast food, and then I'm feeling bad about my body. And then I completely rule it out in my head, the idea of even commencing this whole other wardrobe that I consider in my mind as something that's going to come. But I'm seeing that you're arriving at this point of tension where you really do want to change the way you look. And it feels like it's more of an expression of who you are, an honest expression. And there's almost a stagnant, muddy energy pulling you down from whatever you're currently doing. Whether it's you've got all of these clothes from the past that you're holding on to, different articles that you'd said you'd wear one day, like that special dress, and the day is never coming and the dress is slowly going out of fashion for you. That's the kind of thing you got to look at. And maybe it's a matter of starting completely anew. And of course, it's unfeasible for most people to buy a new wardrobe all at once. But the encouragement is to go piece by piece. You can write down what is the priority. For example, maybe you've never treated yourself to a designer pair of jeans, but jeans are something that last forever and are so malleable in the wardrobe that it's really worth getting them high quality. And if you just put aside a little bit of money each week and you look at your priorities, where are you spending money that you don't need to spend, that you could spend on something tiny in your wardrobe, until every single week you're accumulating different pieces and you end up with this capsule wardrobe that starts to build momentum. Because then you're showing the universe, this is how I want to look, this is what I want to buy, and can you help me to keep attracting this new frequency into my life? And undeniably, it will help you with that. I can guarantee. There's something about aesthetics and the visual art of adornment that the universe really seems to reward, and it's not a very sticky type of manifestation, because it doesn't tie to your survival or your security. So your mind has a much better time subconsciously wrangling with the concept of you attracting new clothing. And there's a lot of creative ways that the universe can gift you clothes, whether that's a friend giving you a gift or whether it's a sale on your favorite brands. The universe really does reward the behavior of switching your mindset and the behavior of a pattern interrupt. And this is an area of your life that is screaming at you for the pattern interrupt. The pattern interrupt is how you go out of the collective dead field into your own solo creative field, which I've talked about in a previous reading. When you're in the act of doing and going and creating and making something happen, the universe listens, the universe notices. But if you're in a medial zone where you're sort of unsure and you're letting things happen upon you or land in your lap, you'll continue to receive more of that uncertain energy. And for a person like you, because I'm starting to get to know who you are throughout these readings, the energy of indecision is like death for you, because your mind is so creative, imaginative, and generative that it's equally about imagination. And if you don't set your sights clearly on something, you'll be given some very arbitrary, confusing answers from the universe, which is probably hitting really close to home because it's how you've ended up where you are right now. So set your focus on how you want to look. If you don't know what that is, make a Pinterest board and gather an understanding of what always feels like you. And a really great clue to how you want to present is when you think to yourself about another person, oh, I wish I could do what they do. I wish I could get away with what they get away with. Oh, they could do it, but I could never. Or even jealousy. Feeling jealous about that person who goes to the gym all the time, or getting triggered when they put up new photos of themselves working out at the gym, and you think, I could never do that, that's for them, but it annoys you as well. because that's your potential. That's who you want to be. So start taking note of those feelings of jealousy and comparison, because they're all possibilities for you. You just have to adjust your mindset and jump into the world where you start becoming that person. So go on that shopping spree. This is your spiritual confirmation, which is probably unexpected to hear in the form of a channeled reading. But Spirit is affirming to you that this pays incredible dividends for your persona, for your sense of self, for your confidence, for feeling like you're actually where you're supposed to be in life, because there's something about this image thing that's really getting you down and it's eating away at your mind, which is unnecessary, and it's not going to take long for you to start to feel like yourself if you finally take a look at this thing, which is your wardrobe, your presentation, or your connection to your sensuality, and all the ways that you might address that. For instance, taking a heels class or getting a facial. There's way bigger reasons why we do these things that even I can hear it now in your mind. You might be thinking these are surface level accessory things that I don't really need to do, and it's a waste of money. But all of those thoughts come from a belief about the world that you don't deserve that level of luxury or pampering. So check yourself with those kinds of triggers. It's so necessary. Get your nails done. Look down at your hands every single day and thank yourself for being valuable enough to drop money on something that is purely to adorn yourself. This will give you a different type of confidence. It's going to change your throat chakra. It's going to change the way that you speak and the way that you hold yourself. It's going to change your posture. It's going to change your body, all because of the way that you now believe in your value. So write a list if you're overwhelmed, and otherwise ask yourself, how can I start today? What's the first thing I can do? Can I throw something out? Can I replace it with something small and affordable? Can I cut out the cost of my morning coffee or that third coffee of the day that I'm buying out with friends? You will find a way. There are no excuses, and the universe will readjust for you. Even if you're in completely no budge zone where you cannot make this happen, begin thinking about it. And even that will give the universe something to work with, and it will set your focus on the right areas when the time is right for these things to change. So start today. Become the person that you dream of being, because you're already them. There's no need to wait. And be brave. That's the end of today's reading. If you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.